Alright, welcome everyone to another list video. So in this one, I'll be listing off the top 10 places I like for their BGMs. So I was considering doing a top 5 list where I talked about my top 5 favorite BGMs altogether. I might do one later on once I'm a bit more finalized with it. But as I was going through listening to every different one, I was kind of just like, oh, well, I like this one, but I also like this one. And a number of the same place ended up in my top 5. So with this, I'll be talking about each area and the reasons why I like it and my personal experiences with it. And then at a later date, I might compile one where I restrict it to only one BGM per area, because some of them have multiples, some of them uses the same one over and over. But yeah, again, this is only my personal opinion. I'm not saying that these are the best of all time. These are ones that just either through just playing the game or when I've come across it going, wow, that actually sounds really good. For a nice map, and especially some of the Arcane River ones, they'll make some appearances on this list. Bit of a spoiler there, but yeah, I hope you enjoy, and leave a comment about what your favorites are. I feel like I had to include this one on the list. While I do find it quite calming and quite casual, but the interior of Nautilus is quite a nice BGM. Since I love pirate classes, I got to know this BGM quite well, and it's one of my favorite AFK spots, and I actually did quite a few videos in the rooms of the ship in terms of cubing and upgrading the gear. I think mainly for the Corsair, but I think I did a few for the Xenon. But yeah, it's just a nice, calm BGM compared to some of the others on this list. And yeah, it's Nautilus ship will always be quite special to me with the way it's designed and all that. It's one of the only ones where it's really, out of the 5 classes for Victoria Island, it's the only one that's really got a presence of being on a ship, whereas the others, they do have their own locations, but it's not built into the class's history really. Like they don't summon the ship to come and attack in other classes like you do with the Nautilus ship, where you've got 2 skills for it in 4th job and 5th job. But yeah, it's a nice, cool BGM. I don't really have any personal memories attached to Lith Harbour, but I think this BGM is one of the best ones where it welcomes someone into the new main area of the game. So it's somewhere where you're going to be spending a lot of time. It's the landing spot from Maple Island, and yeah, it's where you could go and do a lot of the GM hosted events. They've still got the NPC there, but he doesn't really do anything. I haven't seen that for quite a while actually, so I don't know if they even do it anymore. But yeah, so you'd be spending a lot of time here going through before choosing where you'd go to do your 2nd job advancement and 1st job advancement. But yeah, they really settled it quite easily as being a very welcoming BGM. I think they've really done an awesome job with the BGMs in Arcane River. The original BGMs for the game are awesome, but they've really gone all out on these ones. I loved playing through the Black Mage storyline, as well as training to 275 in Lamina and listening to the background music from time to time. I'll be honest, I don't tend to listen to background music as much as I used to, but I will listen to it for a little bit just to see what area is like, and then I'll go back to muting it. And yeah, because I find that if I listen to something too often, it just gets to be a little bit too much of a drag, and I'd much rather be either listening to an audiobook, a podcast, or watching a TV show while I was training. Alnath is one of those special places to me because with all the characters that I've made prior to Legion being a real thing, you'd really go to Alnath quite a lot for third job, obviously, and for things like doing Zachem on mules. I guess that's something that people still do nowadays anyway. I certainly still do Zac, just for the guild rep. And when I'm making mules, I'll go up there and grab a few levels from it. But it's special to a lot of older players for how big of a boss Zachem was back in the day, and all the guild activity that followed it with, like, selling Zachem helms, just guilds running it, as well as training in the great party play areas such as zombies, where you'd really look for a priest to help you out, because along with them healing you, it was good because they actually killed the mobs at the same time. But this is where something I first bought, where I classified it as being an endgame item. So on my Ice Lightning Mage, I spent 50 mil worth of meso to go and buy a Zachem helmet. So I wasn't strong enough to go on a run to kill it, but I believe I actually got it from the same alliance that I'm in with the guild now. And I went along on the run. I was terrified that I was going to get 1-1'd and then die. And if you died, there were no things such as like Wheels of Destiny or anything like that. No doors where you could be brought back to life. No resurrection with bishops, because bishops weren't a thing back then. But yeah, it was a really fun experience, and I really wish I hadn't gotten rid of that character, because I'd really love to look at all the stuff that I got on there. I really look at Vanishing Journey as being Lith Harbor version 2, and I really feel like it's that way because people say that the game really starts out from Vanishing Journey with Arcane River nowadays. So in comparison to back in the day when you'd go through Maple Island and land on Lith Harbor and pretty much spend up until level 30 going around doing different things, party quests, training, hanging out with your friends, Vanishing Journey has really turned into that new sort of Lith Harbor / Hennessy's area where a lot of guilds tend to AFK there. But yeah, it's a really nice BGM. It really, sets the scene for what's about to come. And I think they really nailed it in this one. Like with Lith Harbor, I have no personal attachment to Labyrinth, but when I was rushing through doing the pre-quests in order to get up to Lamina and the endgame maps, I listened to these BGMs along the way, because I knew that, like with the rest of Arcane River, they'd done a really good job with it. And they just keep on making them better and better as this was going on. So it was really cool to listen to these, and I actually really loved the map designs of a labyrinth, a massive maze in the background. So I think it was a really cool area, and I look forward to training in it with the Corsair, because I believe one of the best training maps for summon-based classes are in the Labyrinth. Asphera came out while I was MIA from the game and YouTube. I believe they have altered these BGMs in comparison to other versions of the game, but I've used one or two of the songs in my music video background for the 275 leveling up that I did a few weeks ago, because I just loved how epic they sound. I think the whole of Arcane River has been really well done, but these ones really stand out to me because I really like the deep and really just down and desolate way these background music just really lays out the scene for every map that you're in. If you've been following me for the majority of this channel's life, you'll know that I love the old GPQ. These BGMs in Pyrrhion are still around in other areas, but they were most commonly found in the Guild PQ area outside of Pyrrhion. I remember listening to these while doing the door combination stage, as well as practicing all of the other rooms along the way. They really do bring back a lot of memories, because far back as I can remember, I was doing Guild PQs, either participating or running them for random guilds that I joined, back when guild rep really wasn't that much of a thing, but it was just more fun to do it just for the items that you could get. Not that they were that good nowadays, but yeah, they did have some good drops back in the day. Ludi is one of my favourite places in the game, and I really wish it would get more attention. I know that PAP got updated probably, 2 or 3 years ago now, but I really wish they'd go to it and give it some more content. I remember doing Ludi PQ, going up to level 50, and then I remember doing Ludi Maze PQ on my Assassin and getting to level 70 and doing a 3rd job advancement on it. However, I wasn't too fond of the music above ground in Ludi. My favourite BGMs from that area come from the basement dungeon. I remember training there after the Big Bang update on my level 100 and something Wild Hunter with Steve, aka Aatrox, back when everyone was working out what the new best maps were in the game. We were sharing HS and going after the Grim Phantom Watchers, and I just remember listening to all the BGMs down there, really loving everything that they'd put together there. My oldest memory of playing this game is based in Alinea. It was way back in 2007, and I would be getting home from school and looking forward to a night of watching TV and playing on my laptop. This was probably around the time that I started on Belloc, now that I think of it. I recall making a magician and training in the nearby maps in Alinea while watching Mare on Cartoon Network. Whenever I wasn't listening to the TV, I would have my headphones in, listening to the Alinea background music. Side note, if anyone knows where I could get my hands on a fully dubbed copy of Mare, if you know what I'm talking about, please hit me up, because I absolutely loved that TV show when I was growing up. The full name of it is Makin Awakens Romance, but yeah, it was a really cool TV show that I think they only did half the entire series in English, and then the rest was in Japanese. I do have the full Japanese copy, but I don't have digital copies of the English dub. But yeah, thanks. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, that'd be awesome. Alright everyone, thank you for watching. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you very much for sticking to the end. If you are looking for more of my content, I am currently doing a playthrough of Pokemon Emerald at the moment, and please feel free to check out both the playlists on the Xenon and the Corsair in terms of the work that I've been doing on the gear on both of those characters. So I'll be out with a Pokemon video midweek, and then another video on the Corsair or the Xenon on the weekend. See you then.